All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed something that I didn't think was possible.
I did.
I thought Super Showdown was awful.
Whew.
Ladies and gentlemen, this topped it. But not only did this top how bad Super Showdown was,
It was worse than Backlash this year.
yeah, it was worse than Backlash year. But I'm willing to go a little bit further for me. This I think is worse than December to Dismember.
Oh.
I am not kidding you. I'm going to go into this in depth. I have a lot of notes which I actually have pulled up, so just give me a second here. Just go ahead and pull this up. So let me go ahead and pull my notes here. Pull up the chat, have everything set. So the crown jewel was in Saudi Arabia, a country that, for better words, is throwing money at the WWE. And you can tell how much they were throwing money at this paper. Yes, Jerome, worse than December Dismember. But I will get into it in just a bit.
Whoa.
But here's the thing, though. I have a lot of steps to go through to build the tension up.
I'm still surprised by that.
Yes, but I gotta explain why I thought this was worse. So the big thing, I'm gonna start off with the controversy as the first thing, because this was probably the biggest thing going on. And many YouTube reviewers, famous YouTube reviewers, many people on YouTube would not watch this pay-per-view, including one in particular, and that is Brian Zane. He is not touching this pay-per-view. Thank God.
I don't blame him at all.
Watch this. I respect him for not having to watch this piece of shit pay-per-view because this is bad. There are so many controversies in regards to this pay-per-view in general. One of the reasons that really hurt the WWE with some of the market is John Cena and Daniel Bryan did not compete. Why?
Honestly,
because
I don't blame them.
in freaking Australia a month earlier, and majority of the superstars.
Honestly, Lucas, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be booked on this terrible show either.
Exactly. This was an absolutely terrible, terrible show. And you also want to know another thing, that Daniel Bryan's actual reason why, because there are some actual things. This was reported to the wrestling. I think it was the WrestlingServer.co. The real reason why Daniel Bryan did not want to partake in Crown Jewel, Daniel Bryan has a very interesting opinion on regards to homosexuality. And Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, homosexuality in Saudi Arabia, if you practice it, can result in death by stoning. So that was another reason. And the second reason why Sami Zayn, one of his best friends in WWE, cannot compete in Saudi Arabia because of his heritage.
That's right.
This is beyond ridiculous how bad Saudi Arabia is. Not only that, Renee Young they really had to convince Renee Young to be a commentator, allow her to commentate, and not just really wrestling, because they won't allow women's wrestling in there. They don't. Which is
but they allow women commentators? I don't get that. It
makes no sense, because Saudi people think that the United States is the worst country in the world. Like, some of these people are, oh, the United States is worse. Like, Saudi Arabia is 100 times worse. Not only do you have some of the worst living conditions there, where some of the conditions in the heat in the summer can get to 110 average, and as high as 130. Not only that, they have some strict views on women and a majority of other people.
Well, wait. Let's not forget the big story, that the recent thing with the journalist.
Yes. Let's talk about this. The missing reporters and journalists. You go ahead and explain a little bit about it. I don't have the whole story about it, but go ahead and explain it a little bit.
Oh, there was this journalist, and he got kidnapped and got killed by the Saudi Arabian, I believe it's not prime minister, but one of the heads.
Yeah,
head people there.
That it's beyond ridiculous. It's absolutely pathetic. Why?
And I think President Trump had a ban on Saudi Arabian things.
They're like people traveling there. Only I know the main reason. Even I will also say this. Even Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias is actually a source. You had to be specifically invited to travel to Saudi Arabia by a higher up.
That's right.
You cannot just travel there on your own because they won't let you.
Same with Nigeria.
Yeah, same with Nigeria, but Saudi Arabia, you have to go strict customs. You also have to have very strict things in how you do the shows too. So Saudi Crown Jewel, you could tell already how much money they paid for WWE because they had so much fan service. They literally had all the fireworks, all the fancy stages and everything.
Dude, did you see all those fireworks?
Yeah, they had a ton of fireworks. For almost every single main wrestler, they had fireworks in like some of the matches, especially in the WWE tournament. The World Cup tournament, which I'll get into a little bit why that was absolute shit. But
did you see the pre-show?
Yes, I did see the pre-show, which was
Nakamura and Rusev.
Nakamura did not look like he wanted to be there whatsoever.
Did they get pyro as well?
I don't remember. I didn't see that part. I only saw the match. I didn't see the whole pre-show because I was at work a little bit, and then work was a little bit like I mainly watched a good amount of my just pay-per-view during my lunch break, and then I watched the rest of it, and then I watched more like some other stuff after work. But I should say Nakamura versus Rusev match. This was predictable as you can get. Both wrestlers did not look like they wanted to be there. They looked exhausted.
We knew this was happening. Yeah, they looked exhausted because they had a freaking 20-hour flight.
Exactly. Not only that, they also competed on Tuesday, both of them.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't do a body good.
Exactly. No, it doesn't. And their match the match was extremely predictable. Rusev barely showed any energy. Both of these wrestlers showed absolutely no energy whatsoever. And this was an absolutely lackluster pre-show match. And if you thought the pre-show was bad, oh boy, it gets even worse. It gets worse. Mm-hmm. It gets worse. Yeah, 1.5 out of 5 for the pre-show. Really nothing special whatsoever. The kid shot like it was just very mediocre. Then you had the start. This was, and I'm also gonna say this, compared to December, which had 2 positives, this only had 1 positive.
Whoa. December to Dismember did not have any positives.
Well, for me, seeing CM Punk wrestle, and it's like I really like CM Punk a lot. And I'm trying to remember any other positives for December to Dismember, but trust me, yeah, it was just I don't remember December to Dismember that while, but I remember it not being as bad as I was not pissed at December to Dismember, just more bored and disappointed. This legitimately pissed me off to a point where I almost broke my computer.
No, you did not.
I was legitimately pissed, but we're gonna get. Let's
start it off.
Starting off the main pay-per-view, you have the return of Hulk Hogan. This was my only positive of the entire night.
It was the best part of the night.
Exactly. It was the opening. And Hulk Hogan, glad he's back. Hopefully he'll do more stuff in WWE for the future, but it was great to see him back. He had a really good promo.
I'm curious.
That was probably the best part of the night.
I'm curious to know how much money they gave him to be out there for only a minute and a half.
They gave him a lot of money, that's for sure.
And not only that, did you see that the Saudi Arabian crowd was singing Real American?
Yep. It was pretty funny to say the least. They sing Real American, but it's funny and ironic at the same time. Eliminated December Dismember, but December Dismember does not piss me off. It was just more boring and uninspired and shit. This was just shit and pissing me off, which gets a little bit under my skin. So after Hulk Hogan's opening lines and opening presentation, opening segment, you have the first World Cup match. And this was Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. And Alex, what was Rey Mysterio wearing?
A G-string.
Awful.
Is he wearing a G-string? I don't know.
It was a
I wasn't
mix of
paying attention.
a mix of a onesie with a freaking pants.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
No, I was just like, it looked when I saw Rey Mysterio come out. What I was wearing, I'm like, what the fuck is he wearing? Oh my god!
Yeah, I have no idea.
And you also have Randy Orton. Both of them got huge pops, but
And Pyro,
the match
obviously.
was pretty boring. Really didn't have much in it. Really didn't have anything innovative. Rey Mysterio, the finish I will say was interesting, but I could see why they wanted Rey Mysterio to win. But then
What was the finish?
it was where I think Randy Orton was going to go for RKO. Then Rey Mysterio pulled him up with the ties and tried to get the 1-2, like a small pack, sort of a small pack.
Oh, gotcha. Like
and
a
then
roll
got
up.
the 1-2-3 for the win. Really not much innovative. It's the same. If you've seen Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio, you've seen it way too many times. They've had way better matches. It was just pretty much a match they phoned in. And then Randy Orton post-match assault on Rey Mysterio. Really nothing special there because he pretty much – I knew he was going to do something. After that small package, he was going to go ape shit, and he did. Overall,
No,
I've seen a lot better. 2 out of 5. Really nothing special here in this match. If you've seen a Rey Mysterio – if you've seen both these superstars before, especially in their WrestleMania match, I think it was for the World Heavyweight Championship back in WrestleMania
2006.
Yeah, that was pretty much most of the match here, except for the only thing that was different was the Randy Orton DDT on
the same match that 12 years ago.
Almost the exact same moves.
12 years ago.
Pretty much almost the exact same moves. So really nothing inspiring. 2 out of 5.
Yeah, same.
Lackluster. But I'm only giving back my scores just because I'm grading the overall pay-per-view itself, not based on the scores, but I'm grading overall on everything itself. Then you have the next World Cup match, which is The Miz versus Jeff Hardy. Oh, this was a struggle. At least the Randy Orton match was fast. This one was a slow match, and I'm like, oh my god, just get on with it. Because you can tell both Jeff Hardy moved slow in there. Oh my god, it was bad. But The Miz ended up getting win with the skull crushing factor after Jeff Hardy tried to get the twist of fate. Miz reversed it, hit the skull crushing finale, gets the win, and he moves on. Nothing really inspiring in this match. If you've seen, I think they have faced off before. I thought the last time they faced off was for like WWE Championship tournament. They tried to determine who was going to face Styles a while back on SmackDown. So if you've seen that, you've pretty much seen what that. Because here's the thing. Here's the theme with this pay-per-view. If you've seen them compete beforehand, you pretty much have seen Crown Jewel in a nutshell. A majority of Crown Jewel. Other than one match I'm going to get into, which is my worst match of the year, but we're going to get into that a little bit.
Oh, my God.
Which we're going to get into a little bit. But then after that, we have the 2 Crown Jewel matches. Then we have an interesting match, which is probably, if I had to say best match, even though it was kind of terrible, the best quote-unquote match of the night, which is the tag team match between Sheamus and Cesaro and The New Day, with Big Show and then Xavier Woods being on the sides while Kofi and Big E competed for New Day. And this was just meh. You had some spots, but then you had Big Show punch Big E with the WMD, and then I think Sheamus got the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Bro kick. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, bro kick. Oh yeah, I forgot the bro kick. 1, 2, 3. But Sheamus and Cesaro retained the titles. Really, everything I predicted in this match, I'm like, watch, he's gonna hit this. Watch, he's gonna do that. Watch this. Watch, he's going to go outside and do that. I pretty much predicted this whole match because here's my thing. With the New Day, they can perform some decent matches if given the right talent, if given the right opportunity, right matches. But Sheamus and Cesaro were just way better. I like Sheamus and Cesaro as a decent tag team. They have done pretty well recently. They've been getting better booking.
They are the bar.
The bar. But they were pretty much getting terrible for a while until recently. But yeah, this is probably a 2.5 out of 5. Probably the best match of the night. Really?
I'll go 3.
You gave it 3, yeah. But it was probably, I think, the best match of the night, unfortunately. But There he goes. There's much, much worse.
This is the best tag team match of the night. That's for sure. We'll get to that in
Yeah,
a little
of
bit.
course. Oh, we're gonna talk about the main event soon. God, that main. I'm just gonna. I have to save my thoughts. I have to save my thoughts.
Save it. Go.
Because then we're gonna go out to the next match, which is the smack. Now we're going to go on the Raw side of the tag team turn of the World Cup.
The World Cup tournament.
Yeah, but sorry, the World Cup tournament. I don't want. I really want to stop thinking about this, but I have to get through my notes here. So we have the Raw match. Start off with Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, accompanied to the ring by Lio Rush, which they actually have some. Vince McMahon actually likes Lio Rush as a manager. He's actually getting behind him. He's actually, thanks to Coleaholic, Vince McMahon has actually really taken a liking to Lio Rush. So
that's surprising.
Good. I'm surprised about that because he likes the because the reason why, because someone showed a Lio Rush promo on YouTube to Vince McMahon and he really dug it.
Oh, wow.
Can you do that with other wrestlers, please? Vince McMahon, you're fucking stupid. But
yeah,
it's that in a little bit. But this match overall really was, another match. Seth Rollins definitely does compete the hardest. But, Bobby Lashley does his best. This had some interesting thoughts in it, but it was a little bit predictable. Bobby Lashley just looked really sluggish in this match. I don't know why, but he just looked like Seth Rollins was moving way faster than Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley looked like he was moving in slow-mo majority of the time, which sucks. But Seth Rollins, after Bobby Lashley Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp to get the win and move on. Really nothing special here. Probably another 2.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
1.5.
Yeah, I could see a 1.5 too. Really,
1.5.
Then you have probably the weakest opening quarterfinal match. I mean, the weakest.
Dude, oh my god, absolutely.
Kurt Angle versus Dolph Ziggler.
And they were hyping up Kurt Angle so hard on like Raw and all that stuff, like for the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Kurt Angle. Oh my god, he looked bad. He looked so bad. I was cringing the majority of the time when I saw Kurt Angle try to do something. Except for one move. His angle slam, I like seeing that. But otherwise, it was just tough.
Man, I really wanted him to go all the way, honestly.
That would have been funny, but I'm going to save my thoughts. But overall, it really wasn't anything special. It was cringy to see Dolph Ziggler and Kurt Angle wrestle with Drew McIntyre being the background. Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag, gets the win. Nothing really special here. Probably the weakest match, probably a 1. This was the weakest opening match. Mainly because Kurt Angle just looked so bad in the ring. I don't know why he came back to wrestle. It just looked awful. I'm sorry. Alex, but had to call it how I say it here. But
we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the next qualifying match or the next first round match.
Yes. No, we're all done the first round match, actually. That was all. We had the SmackDown ones and we had the Raw ones.
Okay.
Then after the SmackDown and Raw ones, then shit starts to really hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
We have the second opening round match, which is the first one between Rey Mysterio and The Miz.
Oh, man.
Oh, this was just so uninspiring, man. Rey Mysterio did his best, but this was just ridiculous. Both wrestlers just look completely out of it. Literally, because they just wrestled not long ago, and Mysterio, after taking that post-match assault from Randy Orton, just looked really, really bad. And The Miz, really not much else either. So, with that being said, another terrible match. I think the reason what happened was Rey Mysterio was trying to go for a 619, but then The Miz countered, hit the I forgot. No, I always skull crushing finale. It's a skull crushing finale for the win.
Oh man, I really wanted to see Mysterio go over here.
I would have loved to see Mysterio too, but yep, the fucking Jizz wins. But we're
What
going
do
to
you
get to the main event of that in a little because holy shit will hit the fans soon enough. Then after that, Miz and Mysterio match, very predictable. You've seen him wrestle before. I think it was only a few weeks ago they wrestled when he came
Yeah, a
back,
couple weeks ago.
which you pretty much saw what they did. And if you watch that match of SmackDown, you pretty much saw what they did.
Uh-huh.
No surprise there. So, yeah. Then you have the Raw one, which is Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. Again. But you've pretty much seen Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler wrestle once. You've seen him wrestle a million other times. And this was pretty much what happened in Crown Jewel.
Again.
Time, however, Dolph Ziggler got the win thanks to interference with Drew McIntyre. So Dolph Ziggler got the win with the zigzag after Seth Rollins tried to hit the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins moves on.
Wow, haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
No. Dolph Ziggler won.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler did win, but I could honestly tell that they were going to have Dolph Ziggler win. After that interference, I could tell they were going to have him win. After Drew McIntyre got involved, I'm like, yep, they're going to have Dolph Ziggler win. I knew it. Just watch. And guess what happened? He won.
See, this is why I would rather see Kurt Angle and Seth Rollins face each other.
That would have been a lot better match. Been a lot better because Seth Rollins knows how to carry wrestlers, especially Kurt Angle. But Dolph Ziggler, I'm just like, after that interference, I knew. Then you have a little bit. This is where I really start to get upset here. But I'm going to explain my thoughts in these matches. Then you have the WWE Championship match.
I honestly saw this coming a mile away.
I did too, but it was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe.
Again.
If you've seen their match once, you've seen them this time. And
let's start the drinking game. Whenever he says that phrase, take a drink.
Exactly, because you've pretty much seen how they wrestled before. What else did they really have to do? There really was nothing innovative at all. It was just the same old shit. And
of course, AJ retains.
AJ retains, but I gotta go into a little bit of a rant here because as much as I love AJ Styles, I can't stand him as champion anymore.
What?
Because here's my thing. Here's my reason why. Most of his matches that he has once could stay the WWE champion, they've been a no contest or a no finish. They've literally had to go to multiple upon multiple upon multiple upon multiple upon multiple matches. And
same person.
Honestly, I've seen almost every single thing that AJ can do in the ring at this point.
With the same person.
A new champion. And there needs to be fresh new blood, which Vince doesn't get. But Samoa Joe would have been a great champion, but once again, AJ Styles has to win. I love AJ Styles. I think he's definitely a fantastic, or one of my favorite all-time wrestlers, but I'm sick of seeing him as the WWE champion.
Really?
It's time to make a change. I really think it's time to make a change because with me, AJ Styles, I've seen everything he can do, and he needs to take a break. It's been over a year since he won the title. Exactly. Actually, it's almost exactly a year. I think it's like
4 days, I think.
I think it's only a few days left. Yeah, I think it was November 7th or something like that when he won.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 days left until he reaches a year.
Which shouldn't have been many other WWE champions than AJ Styles in this time period. You could have had Nakamura, but they wasted freaking Nakamura. I understand wanting to break CM Punk's record, but they already did the thing with Brock Lesnar breaking it, which is fucking.
No, that's just stupid.
No, it is. No, trust me, it is stupid. But I honestly want to see AJ win one. I want to see AJ lose the title, then win it back more than I want to see him just keep as a champion. Right. That's just where I'm coming from here, because legitimately, Samoa Joe could be a great champion, and it could be one of the guys that could be the guy to hold the WWE champion other than AJ Styles to be the top guy in SmackDown.
Absolutely.
Oh, really don't have another superstar because Shinsuke, you tried it with Shinsuke to be one of the top ones. He couldn't be AJ Styles once. And who else do you have? Like, no, seriously, just answer me this. Who do you have on SmackDown that can really compete with AJ Styles and be as great of a character like Samoa Joe, like on the WWE roster? Other than Shinsuke Nakamura, who else do you have? Really?
I would say Daniel Bryan, but they're not going to do anything with him,
Nope,
unfortunately.
because Daniel Bryan did not want to go to Saudi Arabia, so they cost him the WWE Championship. But I've been here, but we're going to talk about the main crown jewel thing in just a bit because that has a lot to play with the future.
Anyways, I would
now
Miz probably.
I think the Miz. That's what they're. But I will get into the Miz thing, a theory in a little bit because that leads into another match by hate. But it's time for me to rant here.
Oh boy.
This is the match I am going to lose my shit on.
Oh boy.
Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the worst match of the entire year.
Dude.
I am not kidding you. This is where Baron Corbin helped present the Universal Championship. He holds up high, and guess what he does just before the match starts? He attacks Braun Strowman.
Uh-huh.
And then guess what Brock Lesnar's moveset is the entire match?
F5.
5 F5s.
No suplexes?
No suplexes. I did not see a single suplex. I only saw he threw him over the rope. He tried to get F5, but he threw him over the ropes one. That was his only other move. Yes, it was worse than Roman versus Brock in Mania.
I agree. Yeah, I can agree with that. This is horrible.
This is beyond atrocious. Because guess who wins the match?
Paul Heyman.
Fucking Lesnar.
Paul Heyman.
I am sick and tired of the WWE doing the same old shit. I am seriously sick and tired of it. When Brock Lesnar pinned Braun Strowman, this makes me go, you know what? Fuck this shit. Because they literally killed Braun Strowman at this moment. Yep. This is his burial.
He's done.
He's done. Why? Because they want to put Brock Lesnar on as the champion until Roman comes back and wins it from him once again. This is a -1 out of 5.
Negative. -5 stars.
-5 stars, yes.
This match was a dud. This is horrible.
This is the match that literally put this into one of the worst pay-per-views all time.
You know what's even worse?
Yeah.
You know what's even worse than that? Is that the Universal Championship once again is going to be missing for another year and a half. It's a part-time champion once again. It's the same old shit.
Yep.
And I just don't understand why they won't pull the trigger on Braun Strowman.
It makes no sense whatsoever. It literally does not make any sense.
Well, Lesnar's already going to the UFC. Why does he need this?
Exactly. Why does he need this? Oh, because he wants to cross-brand it with when he fights Daniel Cormier and gets the fucking shit kicked out of him.
No, I think he's going to face the other dude.
Derek Lewis. Oh my fucking God.
Knockout King.
Probably one of the best things I've ever seen. Like his post
Knockout King.
My balls were itchy. Yes, Strowman is the period belt.
No, Jesus Christ. So yeah.
Braun Strowman loses once again the Universal Championship match, thanks to Baron Corbin and thanks to Brock Lesnar hitting 5 F5s, allowing 0 offense to get Braun Strowman in. It's embarrassing to the WWE.
Well, there's one thing we can do about this, Lucas.
Cancel the WWE Network.
No. We can keep that for the old shit. Just don't watch on Monday. See how much the ratings tank. I guarantee you the ratings.
Fuck that. I'll rather watch Titans and Cowboys from shitty that matchup's going to be. I'd rather watch that.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, WWE once again is going to have their ratings drop. And you know what's going to happen again? There's probably going to be another matchup at Royal Rumble. Well, I've been hearing there is breaking news. There are probably doing a matchup at Royal Rumble in a steel cage match between Lesnar and Strowman. from what I've been hearing. This is rumors, but I'll you fucking troll. But now we get into the biggest shit part, one of the biggest shit parts of the entire show, the WWE Tournament Cup Finals.
Let's
World
keep
Cup Finals.
The World Cup when they have 7 people from the United States. World Cup, and you have 7 people from the USA.
Bullshit. But anyway,
get the hell out of here.
It makes no sense. But we have The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. But there's also a catch to it. Because in the middle of this matchup, The Miz gets hurt. And guess what happens? Shane McMahon puts himself in the match. And guess who fucking wins it? A guy that doesn't wrestle, a guy that wrestles all the time, is a full-time wrestler, or the guy that comes in out of nowhere and takes Miz out because of an injury. Yes, Shane McMahon wins the World Cup. Unfucking believable. This is a 0 out of 5 match.
The commissioner of SmackDown wins a World Cup.
That makes 0 sense.
Now, Lucas, I got to ask you this question. If you were booking this whole World Cup tournament, what would you have done?
Okay, so let's start off with the Jeff Hardy and The Miz match. I would have Jeff Hardy.
No. Just do the finals. What would you have in the finals? And who would you have go over?
My finals was Rey Mysterio and probably Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle.
That would be mine as well.
Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle. That would be the matchup I think people would want to see the most.
That would have been mine as well, and for a couple reasons. You have all these build-ups and vignettes of Kurt Angle training this stuff. Training to be the best in the world. You have Shane McMahon on SmackDown, I believe it was last week, this past week, where you have him with all the other participants in the World Cup saying, if you lose, you don't have a home on SmackDown Live. So that would have been the perfect moment to have Rey Mysterio transition into 205 Live. Because they need stars.
That would be brilliant.
Over because he's still an Olympic gold medal. He's still an Olympic gold medal with a broken neck. You send Rey Mysterio over to 205 Live, give them some mainstream publicity. That's what I would have done.
Same. I couldn't have booked it better myself. WWE, you fucked up big time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Shane McMahon wins
the World Cup tournament for an injured Miz. But
was he really injured, though?
I'm actually going to get into this. I think the Miz was faking an injury, so when SmackDown comes around, Shane McMahon's going to relinquish it and give it to the Miz and give the Miz a title shot versus AJ Styles at Survivor Series.
No, it's not going to happen at Survivor Series because
we know it's going to be AJ versus Brock Lesnar again.
If you've seen this match, you've seen it 1,000 times. Take a drink.
Exactly. No, they've only done this one other time, and it's pretty much going to be the exact same as the second time around. There's going to be no change because Brock Lesnar is going to win against AJ Styles. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to happen is I think they're going to give Miz a title shot versus AJ Styles. I think that's what they're building up to.
Which is what needs to happen, honestly.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like him, as much as we don't like the Miz, I think he needs another shot at the championship.
Yeah, I will agree because the WWE SmackDown side really doesn't have any other big heels other than Samoa Joe and then Nakamura. They need like a guy like the Miz to hold the championship realistically. Because the Miz, I will say, has some good promos in it. I will say he has some good promos. Not going to lie. But, yeah, I think Miz is eventually going to get a title shot. Probably at the Royal Rumble against AJ Styles. More than likely. Or they could do what Braun Strowman did with the Greatest Royal Rumble belt and tourney and do nothing.
That's what's going to happen.
Pretty much. And more like
forget all about it. They're going to forget all about it. I'll bet.
Now we get to the biggest shit pile of the main of the.
Dude, you said that like 3 times.
No, I'm sorry.
You said that like 3 times.
I'm sorry. All this is a fucking humongous shit pile. But this is the cherry on top of the gigantic shit pile that it already is. The tag team main event between D-Generation X and the Brothers of Destruction.
No, I did not see this.
Whoa.
I did not see this.
Oh. I get to talk about this in depth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is such
in depth.
This is a match that proves why wrestlers out of their prime should not wrestle.
Agreed.
It proves. Not only this match was so sluggish, so hard to watch, the match itself was a massive botch fest and looked like all the wrestlers could barely fucking move, especially The Undertaker. The Undertaker in this match looked so broken, looked so beaten up and tired and just... Oh, it just was so hard to watch. At least Kane looked somewhat fluid in his movements. The Undertaker, it was so hard to watch The Undertaker. It pretty much, I'm trying to think of what it is. It's pretty much watching, I'm trying to think of a good comparison for it.
It's like fuck.
I'm trying to think of the comparison. I think it's a good comparison of the Undertaker wrestling in this match is probably like one of those retirees in the nursing home who literally can barely walk and still tries to get somewhere. Literally, you try and get them walking down a hallway, and it takes forever and ever and ever and ever. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it takes forever and ever and ever and ever. And that was the Undertaker in this match.
He was slow.
He was so slow. Kane wasn't terrible, but he still looked like he had some issues in the ring. Shawn Michaels, oh my God, dude. Seeing Shawn Michaels
was it sad?
It was sad. Not only was he bald.
Well, obviously.
He was bald, but he looked very bad. He literally looked like he was trying to save his energy up for the sweet chin music, and that was it. Literally, all the other movements in this match, each half-assed it. Triple H was probably the fastest one in this match, and it's not saying pretty much as bad as Kurt Angle.
Now, I heard a rumor that he got injured.
I'm actually going to get into that because what happens is pretty much this match is all back and forth, them trying to hit their finishers and massively failing, or them literally going to the point where they just have such bad chemistry in the ring. It's embarrassing. It literally is like one of those things where you just cringe anytime you see Undertaker taking a hit. It looks bad. Undertaker also tried to do old school. It looked bad. It wasn't like a clean, fluid old school from the olden days. This was like Undertaker taking one step, then another step, then another step, then another step, then finally on top of the ring post, and then walking one step, then walking another step, then walking another step, and then hitting the old school. And the old school just looked terrible on Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels took it horribly.
So, oh God. I don't even want to think about what they're going to do at WrestleMania.
Hell no. I really do not want to see any of these guys compete. They already know what's going to happen. They already know one of these guys cannot compete at WrestleMania, but I'm going to get into that a little bit. But what happens is the Undertaker and Kane trying to hit the double tombstone, but they get stopped because Undertaker barely carry Triple H over his back while Kane tried to carry Shawn Michaels, who Kane almost had it, but Undertaker couldn't get it. Then Shawn Michaels hits the sweet chin music, gets Undertaker out of the ring. Then Triple H hits the pedigree. 1, 2, 3. That ends the match, and DX is victorious.
Wow, I did not expect that.
DX, why did DX win? That is my question. Why
I really
did
don't
DX win?
care. I honestly don't care.
I really don't either, but I'm just like, fucking really? This is how you end the show? And then they do a bunch of fucking humongous fireworks where you go all these
Like
freaking
what?
fireworks. And guess who gets injured after the whole event? Triple H. He has a torn pectoral muscle. And
How
he's
the hell
going to
did
be
he do
out
that?
6 to 8 months.
Well, he doesn't really wrestle for that much anyway, so
Thank God he doesn't wrestle that much. I don't even know why. He wrestled at Super Showdown and then wrestled this pay-per-view. He got injured. He's going to be out 6 to 8 months. He'll still do NXT and stuff, but thank God NXT is still around because WWE at this point, I really don't even care about any other shows at this point for the rest of the year. I don't even care about Survivor Series. I really don't even care about TLC.
I'm gonna wait till the Royal Rumble, honestly.
Same. I'm only waiting to the Royal Rumble. I'll watch NXT Takeover. NXT War Games.
Oh yeah, War Games for sure.
That I'm excited for because you have Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa. You have Undisputed Era, War Raiders, and Pete Dunne facing off, which is going to be incredible. I cannot wait for War Game. Was there a third team, or I'm not sure yet? Were they announced a third team? And then they also have Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. Already 3 great matchups for TakeOver War Games. But yeah, I'm done watching the WWE until the Royal Rumble, the main show. NXT I'll follow, but not. No, Jerome. They're not doing Triple H for Batista. It's not going to happen now because he got injured. It's not going to happen. There's no way he's recovering for WrestleMania. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, Jerome. WrestleMania 35. They already canceled the plans with Roman 17 for the Universal Championship. They already canceled that, and now this is going to be another thing where they have to cancel it. So, overall, WWE Crown Jewel is the worst pay-per-view of the year. It's the worst pay-per-view of the decade, but it's my worst pay-per-view of all time. I'm grading this. I gave December to Dismember. I think I remember last time an F or a 0.5 out of 10. This gets the same rating, 0.5 out of 10. Massive fucking F. But this event pissed me off more than
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10.
Huh?
I'll give it a 2 out of 10.
Oh, it doesn't even deserve a 2. The only positive point I'm giving this is Hulk Hogan in the beginning. Other than that, you had the opening with Hulk Hogan, and then you absolutely have this shit show. So
because he's back, brother.
He's back, brother. Yeah, I'm glad Hulk Hogan's back, but even he couldn't save this shit show. 0.5 out of 10. This is worse if not on par with December. It's probably worse than December's Member, but I haven't seen December in like years, so I probably have to rewatch it to see how bad. Not even
close. December to Dismember is way worse.
I haven't seen it in a while. I will probably have to rewatch it, but both of these have the same grade for me. 0.5 out of 10, a massive F for both of these shows.
Super F.
Super F. Yeah. Thank God this pay-per-view is over. I'm so glad I'm done talking about it. But
ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching this rant, I don't know if anybody will because reasons, but there's one thing we can do about this, and that's just not watch. Let's see their ratings tank. Let's see their attendance ratings tank. Let's see their stock prices tank. Don't pay attention to the main product.
Exactly. Pay attention to NXT.
Except for NXT, exactly.
NXT deserves your time because that's a great fucking show. And we were there on Thursday, Alex. That was a great fun.
We were. I got my Rhea Ripley shirt. She tweeted it. She's put it on her Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome.
Freaking awesome. I love that girl. So fun. But yeah. that was a good show, and this one was
Oh,
not.
shit.
Evolution was
Oh,
a
we
good
could talk
show.
about Evolution a little bit too. Evolution was fucking terrible too. I mean, not
What?
Evolution, I'm sorry. No, Evolution was great. It was
Evolution
great.
was freaking awesome. What are you
No, well,
talking
I'm
about?
sorry. I completely screwed up that. I was thinking of Super Showdown and Crown Jewel. I was thinking of Super Showdown and Crown Jewel. Evolution was awesome. Evolution was freaking awesome, especially Becca Lynch
Yes,
versus Charlotte. That no last woman standing match. That is definitely one of the best matches of the year.
definitely.
If you haven't seen Evolution, I highly recommend it. But for everything else, WWE, avoid it. I am not a
Yep.
fucking savage, Jerome.
What do you say?
He says I'm a fucking butt savage, and no, I'm not a butt savage. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, Evolution was awesome. If you have a chance, watch Evolution. Watch NXT TakeOver War Games. But just don't watch Super Showdown, Survivor Series, or Crown Jewel. Because
Never,
Crown
never,
Jewel
ever watch Crown
is
Jewel.
one of the worst pay-per-views of all time. Thank you all for watching this review. Let me know if you have seen any bit of Crown Jewel, which more likely none of you have. Let us know in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me on it, Alex, as always. And with that being
Absolutely.
said, see you guys next time. Stay awesome. Fuck Crown Jewel because it's absolute garbage. And finally, I want to give a big motherfucking fuck you to Brock Lesnar for being the Universal Champion again. You suck. You're a piece of shit, degenerate. You do not deserve to be the Universal Champion. Braun Strowman does, and you kill him.